Hey everyone, hopefully you're going really well. I'm excited to do another stream. Obviously we missed yesterday. I'll get into that in just a second, but I didn't want to leave you guys hanging for a long weekend, so here we are. I'm here, ready to rock and roll. Let me just change one thing, because I just want to bring that up a little bit. And bingo, good to see people are here, even though it's a random stream at a random time. Kicking it off with a super chat is crazy. Hey Steve, how's it going, mate? Steve's requesting spiny eels. I was thinking about that, and trouble is with my videos that I do, I only ever do it like on fish that I've actually kept for a long period of time. And I think that kind of sets things apart, because I can talk about things that aren't like strictly Googleable, you know, like I can talk about the personality or things, weird quirks or whatever that I've seen whilst keeping it, rather than some people just kind of like type a Google a fish and then just do a video on it. Pete, how's it going, mate? TGIF indeed. I've had the day off. It's the last day of school holidays here, so I've been looking after the kidlets today. Moved forward my RDO, so that's good. There's me, Mexicali Fish Keeper, hello to you. And Adele, collaboration, cool new wild betta on the scene by the looks of it. Really excited to find out what it is. When you said purple, I was like, sounds a bit different. I don't know what that could strictly be. Maybe embellis, maybe, but yeah, I'm excited to see what you got. Smart move as well, letting us settle in. Evan Nolan, how's it going, Evan? Remember those water changes. That's exactly what I'm procrastinating right now, trying not to do those. Fishy boy, hello to you. Adam Gatt, evening.
My name's Blake.
Whoop, that's not the right one.
Hello there.
Hello there. We've been watching a lot of Star Wars in this household as well. Unplug that. Dev, how's it going? Devram. Eddie, ooh, early stream, suitable for me today. Fantastic. Working on the new fish room. I like it. I like it a lot. What else is happening? Water changes are done in Pete's house. Yeah, I've got to do that. Maybe this evening. Although early streams, it's handy for me as well. The kids are at swimming lessons right now, so that's why I can do it a bit earlier than usual. Elias hasn't been to a live stream in a while. Feels good to be back. Welcome.
Peace and love. Peace and love.
Thank you. Sweet D drinking the iced tea. How you going, D? Good to have you back again. Chloe's Aquatic Center. Hello, Chloe. How's it going? What else? Like button is all sparkly and fun. I haven't seen that. Maybe I don't like enough videos. It's a bit hypocritical, isn't me? But I haven't really been watching too much YouTube lately, have I? Actually, I've been finding it really hard at the moment to find some good YouTube to watch. Yeah, been watching a bit of Sidemen stuff, which is pretty good. Loving the funky weight music. Yeah, different little playlist today, but as always, the stream beats the royalty-free music from Harris Heller, so that's really awesome. Richie's DIY Fish Room. Hey, Richie. How you going, mate? And Jimmy P stayed up here in Cali just to say hi and catch you on the replay. No worries, thanks, Jimmy P. Enjoy your rest. Hopefully it is restful. Brad Holloway. Hey, mate. Hey, Brad. How's it going? Good to see you. My first live. I'm in the US. It's 2 a.m. I watch videos constantly. I've learned so much. Thanks, Danielle. Appreciate that. Glad you're getting some enjoyment out of it. Actually, the whole reason I scheduled in this live, I was just editing a video, and I got to the stage where I have to go get some B-roll for said video, and I was like, nah, let's just go do a live stream instead. Because that awkward time now where it's like, will I get it finished before a reasonable time to upload? And if I'm not uploading it today, well, might as well do a live stream instead, I reckon. Especially because it's a long weekend, got Monday off here. Well, in Australia anyway, and New Zealand, I think. So we've got a long weekend as well, so that helps. Elias, what are some of your favourite Australian aquarium fish? Some of mine are hardyheads, archers, speckled gobies, and barred grunter. That guy there is one of my favourites. The Saratoga Lycardi. Underrated as well. I feel like people in the Saratoga market, they're like, I'm getting a Giardini. But Lycardis are awesome as well. And he does have quite a nice bit of red to the tips of his scales too, which I was really hoping for when I picked up the Saratoga. Other than that, I really like Sunomogils. Some of them are from Papua New Guinea, not Australia though. I like pygmy perch. I like southern pygmy perch. They're pretty cool. Yeah, heaps of cool Australians. The other one, purple spot gudgeons. and Empire Gudgeons. I like them a lot. Bard Grunter, yeah, I haven't got much into the Grunters, but I also wouldn't mind getting an Aussie Bass one day. Or a huge pond and a big Murray cod. A Mary cod, maybe. Setting up a new fish room, it's in the house on timber floorboards. I'm somewhat worried about the weight of the racking on the floor. Do you have experience with racks on floorboards? I do not. I would also be concerned about that. If you can have a look at your underneath your house, that'd be good. I know some people, if they've done it, they put a new post directly under where it's going to be, but that would be a pretty big concern for me, to be honest, Eddie. I am a civil engineer technically, so I guess I'm kind of qualified to talk about it, but my main concerns would be between the joists when just point loads from the feet. You really want the feet of the racks to be directly on a joist or some kind of load bearing member. But yeah, you're in for a tricky time, I think, Eddie. Small tanks, lots of small tanks to spread that weight a lot easier, which you're a big shrimp fan, I think, so should be easier to do that. Hey, the Don, how's it going, mate? I'm making an offer you can't refuse. Come to my live stream. I only just recently watched The Godfather 1 and 2 like a couple months ago for the first time ever. Big fan. Mark, how you going? When you get pseudomorgils to breed, do you find that eggs do better in soft or hard water or pH? Does it matter? Let me think. So the only times I've got pseudomorgils to breed naturally was outdoors in ponds, and that was topped up mainly from rainwater and some tap water, but very infrequently. So I would suggest soft water would be better from my experience. Although I haven't really monitored the pH. I find that the availability of live foods, it's more about getting those eggs in the first place rather than hatching them out. That's the difficulty. And feeding the fry, I think, is probably more difficult than that. But if you're having a lot of them calcify, turn white, then your water's probably a little bit too hard. That's really what the difference is. If you've got really hard water, your eggs, it affects how quickly your eggs calcify. So go from soft to hard shell, basically. So if there's lots of calcium in the water, then that's going to do that. So you want something that's going to hatch with enough time for that process to happen. Can't really speak today, can I? Would you rather a tigrinus catfish or a red tail catfish? Good question. I do like red tails. I do also like tigrinus. I don't really like the shovel nose on the tigrinus. That's the thing. It kind of weirds me out. They seem a bit weird. So probably red tail cat, I reckon. But is that true? I mean, rather than either, I'd probably just get stingrays. But red tail, I think, are better than tigrinus. Yeah. Just caught the grunter the other day and thought they were baby barra. It's a good thing they aren't, since they get massive. Yeah. Yep. Barramundi do get huge. I'd really like one. I've seen a few baby ones at stores I've been to, but same kind of thing. I'm like, it's a bit mean. I already have the Saratoga, which is probably borderline enough in terms of keeping fish that you can reasonably house. Hey Brad, the giant Danio coming your way would be a nice little snack for the Sarah. Yeah, for sure. Now the barramundi will go in the barramundi. The giant Danio will go in the rainbow fish tank. The what is it? Kind of the mixed community tank of rainbows and tetras and gudgeons, and there's one angelfish in there at the moment. Yeesh. Craig's catfish caper. How you going, Craig? Craig's calamitous catfish collection. Yep, can't get all feet on joists. Thinking the idea of base plate / boards to distribute the weight better. Otherwise, it's going to have like 250 kilo on 5 centimeter feet. Yeah, that's going to be a tough one. It's always, what luck would it be to have your racks conveniently have feet on all the joists. Yeah, you can do some kind of plate arrangement or connect yeah, have another sideways member between the two joists, and then usually people put like an acro prop underneath that. But I haven't done it personally to be able to say one way or another if it works. I'd be worried as well about water on floorboards potentially, although probably be okay. The Don, what kind of projects am I working on lately? Well, after Tuesday's videos, you guys are super supportive. It's so good that you're all so keen on my breeding contraptions. I've got like 40 to print or something ridiculous, so yeah, that's insane. I didn't really expect that, and I immediately placed an order for new filament because I was like, oh, I don't have enough filament for this. Luckily it arrives pretty quick, and even since placing that order, I've had to place another order for filament just because of, like, yeah, I'll run out again from the amount that I ordered. So the printers are going gangbusters at the moment. It's just so crazy. Oh, on that as well. Oh, well, first of all, I'll soften it with some that. So first of all, I've printed 2. I printed 4, but on one machine I've printed 2 so far, and both of them have failed right at the end. So that is kind of like a waste of 12 hours, which is a real killer when you've got orders out the eyeballs. So that's annoying. But what was the good news? Oh, the good news is that the funds from that I am investing into improving this streaming setup. So I got some new lights. I don't know, nobody would have ever seen them. Can I show you? Probably not. What can I do? I can take a photo. I'll show you what I sit in front of, and this will make sense why I got some new stuff. Okay, so these it's not great, is it? These huge lights here are what I'm sitting in front of right now. So they're just like, they take up a lot of space. You can't adjust them at all, so it's just like 100% brightness in your face. And yeah, so I've got some new lights that clip onto the desk. I work only off this laptop screen right now, so I got a very cheap second monitor and a monitor stand that I can sit my laptop on, so I'll have the 2 screens, which will mean naturally I'll look more up at the camera, because the camera I'll put in the middle of it, and just some stuff like that. So I want to get some like fancy LEDs for back there. You can get this one that's like an L shape, and this way. You can get this one that's like an L shape, and I was thinking it'd be cool to have, let's try and do this in a straight line, down and then across like that, something like that. I also want to get some conduit cover and have these cords a bit more neat along the doorway or something like that. So yeah, I'll be doing a lot of projects, like stuff that most people probably won't even notice, but just like beautifying things a little bit. And outside of that, I've been spending a lot of time not in the fish room, job hunting and stuff like that, because if you didn't know, I got made redundant at work, so my whole department did, so it wasn't like I was being slack or making too many YouTube videos, not doing any work. But yeah, I've been trying to secure some stuff there, which I've got some sorted now, I think, so that's a relief. But yeah, just busy with the usual stuff. And what else? Oh, I've got that bucket over there, that's got some angelfish fry in it at the moment, which is pretty fun. The blue angels. And yeah, just always trying to breed stuff. That's the usual go. Thomas Watson, g'day, how you going, mate? And I'm getting Brad Holloway's giant danios. I haven't really got, I've got some new fish. I got some blue eye cichlids. I got, what else? Some more Julidochroma stickfeldi. I got some Kubertai rasboras, which are the emerald green rasbora. What else? There was one other. Oh, I got some 5-banded barbs. This is all over the period of like 2 months or so. And discus. I got 8 discus. So one day I'll have to show those to you. which arowana would you pick and why personally? I'd pick the silver arowana because they're just stunning. Silver arowana, Asian arowana, or Jardini. Hey Steve, the silver arowana, I can't get behind the tail. I don't like how it kind of like is like eel-like tail. I far prefer Asian arowana, and I like the blue or gold based ones. I really like blue Asian arowana a lot. Yeah, that would be a dream for sure. DC's African Cichlids, g'day from Bathurst. How's it going, mate? You'd be getting ready for some cold weather coming your way, no doubt. But good to have you. And orangutan, how's the palm oil harvest going this week? And orangutan, hopefully the habitat's going all right. I've been steering clear of any palm sugar or palm products just for you, and keeping you in mind. So great to have you here, and hopefully you've got yourself a couple of nice little lady friends, and you can get our population booming again. Makes the video clear. What's that? The lights? It does. It won't be worse lights. It'll just be like more focused, I think. Yeah. Boreas brigitae available in our state. Never seen them in local stores. Nah, I think the trouble with those are that they're illegal to import. Some people are still doing it. I saw some at 2 fish stores, online fish stores lately, and I purchased from one of those fish stores, but the floods impacted the stock there, so I didn't get them. But a guy that I know in Queensland, and we regularly swap CPDs and emerald rasboras and other fish that we both breed so that we can keep some diverse genetics on Chopro Danios. He picked up what was left of what I ordered there, so he's got them in some outdoor ponds, so try and get some someday. I'm excited to see the upgrades to the channel. It's good. I forgot you're a civil engineer. I don't want to hear that about the floor from someone like you. Yeah, that doesn't mean that I still don't do some sketchy things, but I try not to. Any cool tank mate ideas for my 1,000 litre IBC with some common goldfish and small archerfish? Alright, so if I was doing an IBC, Elias, does it have a window or not? We'll presume not. Then you're going to want something that's going to be good from the top view. Will archers eat African butterfly fish? Goldfish would probably bother them. Otherwise, that could be something pretty cool. Archers, I think archers are going to be the killer there because they're going to get big enough to terrorize a lot of stuff. That is a good question. I'll sit on that for a minute and we might come back to it. I love the blue angels. Me too. Every time they've spawned for me, they're a bit weird. Like, they'll have heaps of eggs, and heaps of them will get to Wrigley stage, and I'll be feeding them, perfect foods and all that, and then just from 2 or 3 weeks old, then just a couple will die off, a couple will die off, a couple will die off, and the spawn ends up being like 4 or 5 fish, and it really annoys me every time. So I'm hoping they're just getting used to it, but they also breed very infrequently for me, so it's a bit of a battle. Probably for the best. Don't want a whole rack going through the floor. Yeah, 100%. And that's what I'd be most worried about, is it just punching straight through the floor. Rather than splitting a joist or anything like that. I think that would be unlikely, but I think a good example is Jason Cichlids. He had his fish room was on floorboards, and I think he gutted it and poured a slab there instead, or put some piles and a slab on top or something like that. So if you go back in his videos, he might have some really old stuff of what he did. Got blue angelfish right now, like 300 of them. Yeah, let me know how that goes, Dev, because mine always start off like that, but they don't go all the way through. I can respect that decision. Can't wait for the next toga season, see if I can get one. Yeah, I've been tempted as well to get a couple and see how they go as like 3, but obviously I don't have anything big enough at the moment to house them. So here I have the 4x2x2 and the 4x3x2 next to each other. So this space here is actually like a 5x4 foot, footprint, and I've been thinking recently about getting one of those huge fiberglass ponds and doing something like that, or alternatively creating a water bridge and they can share the water, and then that water volume would just be insane, and the filtration would then be shared as well. So thinking about stuff like that. And then also obviously in the 4x2 side, you can't see it at the moment, but that is planted as well, which would really help, because if I skip a week of water changes on this big tank here, it gets quite cloudy. So that would really help with that. But obviously I can't put plants in there because the silver dollars just shred everything in there. I have a pair of German Blue Rams on the way. Nice. From Justin, going to diversify a bit now and keep more different strains and scape all my tanks. Discus breeding project is way too time consuming. Yeah, fair enough. For me, they're in that basket of the German Blue Rams where, you know, I probably wasn't keeping them that great the first time around. Now I'm doing bi-weekly water changes on them, which is a lot easier when you've got the sink in the fish room and all that. So yeah, I'm just trying to do them a bit better this time around, and the German Blue Rams are still hanging in there, but I haven't had any breeding yet. I've got a clear pair, so I have been thinking about separating out the other rams not part of that pair and seeing how that works, but we'll see. G'day Shan, how you going? Wanting to get into Coriolis breeding, and would 6 adults per tank be fine in a 40x40x40? Yeah, absolutely. Or would it be better doing 2 foot, like standard 2 foot tanks? Think from memory, 40 cubes. Let me check what's the difference in I'm gonna have to do it on the phone. 40x40x40 is what, 50 litres or something like that. 64 litres, and 61 by 30 by 38. Is that what it was? Yeah, 60. So negligible difference in litres, especially by the time you probably don't fill it all the way to the top. You probably put some substrate in or whatever. So they're not going to be fussed too much about the profile, really, I wouldn't have thought. And 40 by 40 is very similar to 60 by 30 in terms of even surface area at the bottom of the tank. So either way, use whichever ones you've already got, or use whichever ones are going to best fit your room. For example, if you've only got one wall that you can go along, then go the 60 centimeter ones and have them long ways, because then you'll get more in every 3 of the cube tanks. You'll get a 1/4 of the standards 2 foot in. An orangutan. I recently noticed what appeared to be copepods or amphipods in my tank. Nearly microscopic. I know they're just little scavenger crustaceans, but should I be worried about anything? No, not at all. They're fantastic. I've got them in all of my tanks that do really well. So means you're probably onto a good thing. And especially welcome to the club, Dixie. Especially if it just means that you've got really healthy water and all that. So as long as it's not stuck to the glass and looks like a little jellyfish, in which case that's Hydra or a leech or anything like that, then you're good to go. Probably they'll be skipping around like little seeds or something like that. That's when you're on the money. Neil, how's it going, mate? I was just watching KG Tropical's live stream replay. Is there any YouTubers you watch because there's so many? What YouTubers do I watch? Well, I used to watch a lot of aquarium YouTubers, but recently I made a move a couple years ago to stop watching a lot of them, really just because it was influencing my content, and you sort of accidentally copy each other, or I really try not to. So if I watch someone these days, I try to make it someone who makes very, very different stuff to what I do. I really like, I've interacted with a lot of people on the channel before, and personally, I really, really like people. So I tend to follow people's channels for them, not really for what they're making, if that makes sense. But no, I watch Aquamate, for example, because Josh is a really great mate. DKF, Dan Keeping Fish. Actually, he just had a near miss the other day with a fire. That was really interesting. And I find that he does some really great short form content. So, yeah, Dan's really cool. I watch Rio Watanabe, which I think everyone does because such a genuine person. Really great. And there's not too many of them around. You know that if he says something, he's not influenced by anything else. It's just straight what he thinks. And I like culturally, I really like Japan. I've been to Japan a couple of times, and I learnt Japanese for like 5 years when I was in school. So I like that aspect to it, of the scenery in the background, and especially the fish store tours. And of course, Aquarium Co-op, I'm a member of them because it's impossible not to be a member. They do so much member content, and every time, like if funds are tight or whatever, then they'll do something, and then I'll be like, oh yeah, I guess I have to be a member again because I really want to watch this and that. And yeah, I watch. Is that a lot? I don't know. I used to watch a whole bunch of others, but I've peeled it back a little bit now. Bentley Pasco I like, Jadra and Aquatics I like, but yeah, that's probably most of them. And Rumble's Fish Room I watch every day. But Rumble's Fish Room isn't really fish content, I wouldn't really say. He probably thinks it is, but it's not. It's probably 50-50 at this point. Do you still have your Betta Rubra? I'm looking to start a wild Betta tank. Any tips on getting a low pH without an RO unit? Oh, that reminds me, I need to buy an RO unit for the shrimp. Yeah, you can collect rainwater, Laura. That's probably the easiest way to do it. When I used to have my rainwater set up, the TDS was about 7, which is really, really close to RO. Here, my house collects rainwater out in a buried tank in the front yard, but what happens is there's a float switch in it, and then whenever the water level gets low enough, it fills it so that the pump's always submerged. So I can never be 100% sure that it's pure rainwater. So that means that I'm going to get an RO unit and just park it over there in the corner and just change very irregularly RO water changes with the shrimp. But yeah, rainwater is the best bet, I reckon. Do I have my Betta Rubra? Yeah, I've got one of the Betta Rubra still up there, just living his best life, hanging out with some random guppies at the moment. But yeah. Oh, actually, there might be a second one. I put one ages ago in this mixed Betta tank here, and you never know what's in there. There's too many plants, and the Betta Rubra are too good at hiding. So I might have 2, or I might have 1, but they're not being actively bred at the moment. Hey AZ, how's it going, mate? Samyak, any tips on building a fish room and a breeding room? Biggest tip, measure twice, cut once. We know I'm guilty of not doing that. Second biggest tip, don't rush yourself. Don't don't have all of your tanks in a moving truck and all your fish in buckets and be trying to assemble somewhat of a fish room or a breeding room. Plan it. Like this fish room here, before I even moved, I was talking about it for 6 months, and it still changed about 5 or 6 different times in that period, and it even changed between getting the keys and starting to put things together and starting to measure things out. Some things I wish I did better. For example, I always wanted a low bench here, but I never really thought that much about how high it should be. So I just matched it in with this tank here with that level there, and then I just put that on the floor. And the room right here is not very good, and also it's not a very pleasurable experience to see into these tanks. You have to sit on the floor, and I'm getting too old for that nonsense. So I really wish I had it raised up like 30 or 40 centimeters on feet, so that this was more at eye level rather than at waist level, and this was up off the ground a bit more. Be easier for water changes as well, although I'm lucky that there's a lot of fall out to the front yard where I drain the tanks to. So yeah, you'll always have regrets. It'll never be perfect, but biggest thing is give yourself heaps of time, draw it out, plan it out, put it on CAD if you know how to use CAD, and don't be afraid to change your plans as you go. I found what looks like an earthworm in my shrimp tank when I started attacking the planaria. I'm assuming an actual earthworm can't live underwater. No, do you know what I think it is, Brad? And I've had these as well. Have a look at ribbon worms. I think it's a ribbon worm. And when they start to swim through the water, they'll be very S-shaped like that. And they're called ribbon worms because they'll flatten right out. So they're a type of flatworm. They're not too bad, but they do breed pretty prolifically. And I had them in my blackworm culture, and by the end of it, it was like 80% ribbon worms, and I just had to restart the whole thing. I let the whole thing dry out for a couple of weeks and then started again. Do guppies eat hair algae? Because I've seen my guppies cleaning hair. Yeah, they're really, really good algae eaters, actually. Underrated. Who has a video? Sir Prawn a lot. He hasn't made videos in probably 2 years. Hopefully he's going alright. I haven't heard from him in a while, but I know he switched over to Twitch and he's had some busy stuff going on. But yeah, Sir Prawn a lot did a video, a short of guppies cleaning out of town these plants from this purple slime algae as well. So yeah, guppies are really great algae eaters. Absolutely. Alright, there we go. So what else has been going on in the fish room lately? So I finally, for those of you that might not know, I've only got one more tank to go. This is my last odd one out tank now. So I'm pretty excited about that because I used to have, it would have been perfect except I moved this one up here. Remember I had that paludarium style tank there? Well, I swapped it out for a normal 60 centimeter tank because I just found that I didn't really use it. So I've got it on the floor here. If anyone wants a nice paludarium tank that's really barely ever been filled up with water, let me know. Hey, Will Barker, how you going, mate? G'day to you. Yeah, so I'll probably be putting that on Gumtree or something pretty soon. Probably just for the same price that I paid for it, I guess. See if there's any bites on that. Yeah, other than that, took a bunch of CPDs to Fastway Aquarium, and when I was there, it was like 5 people were talking to me, asking if I was that guy. So that's pretty surreal still to get in the world. Also I hit 16,000 subscribers a couple of days ago, so that was awesome as well. Pretty exciting. And yeah, other than that, just the usual stuff, just water changes, scraping down algae, and all that sort of stuff. Is Epsom salt good for a planter tank? I wouldn't say it's good for a planter tank. Wouldn't necessarily say it's as bad for one either, especially not compared to normal salt, but pretty much Epsom salt's one of those things that I wouldn't regularly dose it into an aquarium. I'd just do an Epsom salt bath if you've got some fish with swim bladder issues. Yeah. Caleb, how's it going? Caleb and Andy. My platies and endlers eat on the algae in my 55 gallon. Yeah, platies and endlers and swordtails and mollies will also eat algae too. Mollies are a really great algae eater for saltwater tanks if you're ever that way inclined, which I don't recommend. If you guys get a chance to look at Dan's fish from the US, sensational new fish room. The water is drawn from a river and returned to the river. That's really interesting, Richie. I wonder if that would even be legal here in Australia, because I mean, that would be also releasing a lot of potential diseases and pathogens into the river, which sounds a bit sketchy to me. That's why I'd even rather put it on the garden than like straight into a drain, because you never know. Although most of the time those are both going to end up sort of treated anyway, but I doubt a river would be, especially so that could be putting all sorts of stuff in the natural ecosystem. I'm not sure that would be legal to do in Australia. I mean, unless it's an enclosed like dam or something like that, but yeah, a river I'd be surprised by. Good idea though. I saw like years ago Catchable Fishing and all those guys, they used to pump up water from a man-made lake where they lived up into their pool pond and back out, so they'd never need filtration or anything like that. Nothing is legal in Australia. Yeah, not wrong. Yeah. So what's everyone's plans for the long weekend? I don't really have too many plans. Obviously, being a Essendon supporter, I'll probably watch footy on Monday, but you know, not huge expectations there. Otherwise, yeah, I'll definitely do all my water changes probably tonight, and try and make some more videos and pump out some more 3D prints. Otherwise, outside of the fish room, my kids and I, we've been playing heaps and heaps of Nintendo Switch. We got the Lego Star Wars, and it's such a fun game. Even if they're not into playing, I've been playing a fair bit of it, and from that we've been watching the Star Wars movies and all that as well. It's really cool to get them into all of that sort of stuff as well. So we were watching the movie and they're like, oh, that's General Grievous and all this, and they're only 5 and 4, so pretty interesting. It is cleansed and returned. Okay, yeah, there you go. Yeah, I would have been surprised because Dan, I think he is some kind of biologist or something, so that's good. So he is being responsible about it, that's good. I'm not surprised though, he seems like a really switched on sort of cat. But especially with how many fish he's importing and all that, I'm sure that he does some interesting stuff going through his fish room. Yeah. Well, I'm going to run out of stuff to say pretty soon, so we might have a short live stream here, but, you know, I wanted to jump on anyway and kick off the weekend. Can do a little bit of a feeding if you want. I haven't fed these big guys for a while, but by a while, I mean like 18 hours. Dropped into fast food today and did wonder if you'd recently restocked the CPD tank. Yeah, I dropped them off. I didn't drop them off too many though. I dropped off, I think, 20 on Saturday. Crazy fish. There you go. Feeding frenzy. I should there's too much stuff. I've been trying to refine down my foods as well and my chemicals. I had way too many bottles everywhere, so I've been trying to combine things together like some kind of mad scientist as well. All these random like half full fertilizer bottles and all that, just mix them all into one, but sometimes it doesn't work that well. Any tips for the best way to propagate Hydrophilic pinnated feeder from a plant in substrate to Epiphyte? Alright, let me read that again. Any tips for the best way to propagate Hydrophilic pinnated feeder from a planted aquarium in substrate to an Epiphyte? Okay, so what you do is when you'll see the plant, it'll have the main stem and then other stems off there, other stems off it. And then of these offshoots, there'll be some with little roots, and they'll look like rhizomes, basically, of Anubias or whatever. So get one of those pieces that has a little root, and then just cut directly behind that, so that you have a little piece with a root off it. And then from that, you can just jam it in some dragonstone or whatever you want to do, and you're off your way. So to help with that, I'd recommend dosing some kind of amino acid, which is going to help that recovery process and spark some new growth, and also make sure that your water column dosing is going really well. Also, otherwise the plant's going to say, wait, you want me to take these nutrients around here? There's nothing, and I know that there's a all-you-can-eat buffet down in that substrate, so what do you take me for, a fool? And then they'll just die off slowly. So, which you'll notice over a fair period of time as they'll sort of retreat, their leaves start to go a bit translucent and all that sort of stuff. Any update on the Pet Expo? Yes, I think I can give you some updates. I've been playing around with the floor plan, so that's been pretty exciting. I think he did say official. Let me see. Did he say it was official? Okay. It is officially going ahead, and it's officially going to be in October, and it's officially going to be at the same venue, but it's going to have some tweaks. Obviously, you know I'm looking at the floor plan, so it's going to be better laid out. So October this year, 6 months to plan, buy some flights, accommodation if you need to, but it's officially going ahead and officially again at the Melbourne Showgrounds at that same building. So yeah, pretty exciting. And this one's going to be a lot different. If you didn't catch it last time, this one's not going to be kind of what it was last time, which was a bit of more of an exhibition or more of a trade show. This one's going to be more hobbyist minded. There'll be stuff to consume, there'll be fish to buy, plants to buy, and all that sort of stuff. And yeah, I'll be there doing what I do. And yeah, I'm going to try and do some presenting work maybe. I haven't talked to Sam about this yet, but if we have a bunch of talks, you know, I think I'd be interested in doing like the MC for that or something like that, introducing people and that sort of crowd work sort of stuff. So yeah, I don't think I'll be really stuck sitting around like doing a 3-day live stream or anything like that. I probably will do 2 live streams. I'll probably do walking around live stream both days maybe, but we're just going to play it by ear. So I'm excited. It's in October though. Thanks for asking, Rich. Yeah, come down. That'd be awesome. My dream is to have a planted tank with Oscars and Bashirs. Oh yeah, that'd be so cool. I really want some of those tiger Bashirs right now. I did apply. This is something. I did try to apply for a license to keep Anelkeri Bashirs, and they never got back to me. And then I called their number, and they never answered. And I called their number and called their number and called their number. And then one day somebody did answer. They said, "Oh, you have to call this other number there." And I called that number and it was just a dead number. So don't try and get licenses for stuff because they never get back to you. I was really annoyed about that. I wrote out a whole report about why I should be allowed to keep it, involving like education and stuff. And I would have talked a lot about, you know, how there are banned species in Victoria for these reasons and all this sort of stuff. And if you do want to keep them, go through the appropriate channels and all that. Would have been a good opportunity for some positive stories there, but anyway, so wasn't to be. But yeah, I'd love to keep 3 to 5 Anelkeri Bashirs one day. Hey John Maud, how's the middle of nowhere? Hey. Yeah, it's a bit unlucky. You know, you try and do everything the right way, especially when you know, like, everybody around you is just buying them online and people will ship them. So, a bit annoying. But when you put everything on the internet, you got to do things the right way, I suppose. To be honest, I probably wouldn't do things the wrong way anyway. But yeah, so that's pretty much what I got for you today, I think. Any last questions? What's been bothering you? What's the coolest new fish that you got? What's your most recent breeding project? What's a fish that you're trying to breed but you really can't crack the code? Oh, one other thing. I've got this, you can see it stuck right there. I've got this thermometer in here to tell me what the temperature of the room is, because it's important to know that when you're heating the room. But now that it's winter, I've realized that it's not quite right. So I've raised the temperature of my little heater like 5 degrees and it's still not that hot in here. So something's going on. I've got to get down to the bottom of it, because yeah, everything you just sort of notice like the fish are behaving a bit more sluggish, a bit more this, a bit more that. So it must mean that it's a bit colder in here. Can't have a large tank studio apartment in Seattle. Oh yeah? What do you got in it? Nano tanks are still pretty cool as well. Like a lot of Europe, for years and years, they've just been doing some really high quality small tanks, and it looks awesome. NJ just breeding some CPDs. Nice. It's good that so many people are having success breeding CPDs now. They're really not that difficult once you crack the code. Although, one other thing that I've noticed, so I put some juveniles back into the colony to sort of bolster the colony up and just get some new blood in there all that sort of stuff. Although it's not really new, well, it kind of is new blood. So I've been messing around with the colonies. I split the main colony into 3, and then I added juveniles into every colony just to sort of keep things fresh. But then from that, it's clearly upset the balance a little bit. And I have found that breeding's slowed up somewhat. So I'm not sure if it's temperature related or it's the fact that there's adults and juveniles now, or what the go is. So playing around with that a little bit more. You've been trying to contact me on Messenger. I'm not answering messages every single day, John. Let me see. Oh, I bet you I have like 1 billion message requests here. Not now. Nah. On my page or here? No, I don't have anything, mate. Nah, I'm happy to give it a go right now. Either message my personal page or the channel page. Either one. I'll try and figure out what's going on there, but I don't think I have you accidentally blocked or anything like that. No message requests, no messages. Yeah, I'm on Messenger. Facebook Messenger. At what point can they eat baby brine? You know, so there'll be the cling on the glass stage, and then there'll be free swimmer stage, but there'll be free swimmers and still kind of long. I don't feed them baby brine until they get that rounded sort of shape to them. So, yeah, so that's usually about 2 to 3 months, depending on... No, not 2 to 3 months. Probably about 1 to 2 months, depending on the temperature. You can try Instagram. Instagram's usually pretty terrible at notifying me of things. I'm pretty bad at that. Hey Jonga, how's it going, mate? Also planted, I have a 55 gallon, that's pretty big, with Hawaiian Variatus platies, love that, and endless, and 5 panda cories, 2 Borneo loaches, dirted with the sandcap. That sounds fantastic, Caleb. I'd love that. I want a tank like the King of DIY's planted Asian arowana tank back in the day, with the Ember Tetras as well, except with the Saratoga. Yeah, that would be pretty cool. I've experimented with some small fish with this guy, but it doesn't really work. I've tried just some random fry and stuff like that, but they usually end up to be a pretty quick snack, to be honest. Many babies from CPDs I got from you. It's been so fun. Oh, fantastic. And I'm really happy to hear stuff like that. I set up a Bioscape Cloud terrarium desk tank with Wabikusa ball. Plan to add shrimp shortly. Bioscape Cloud terrarium. Oh. You mean there's stuff everywhere. You mean like this? Yeah, I think this is a cloud Bioscape Cloud terrarium. Is this the same one? This one I set up ages ago and it was going really well, except the kids put some Hot Wheels cars or something in it. So then it came out here. But it was inside for a little while. This year I want to breed some tetras. Never bred any. And hopefully... Where is it? And hopefully get my gold laser cories to breed. Awesome. Well, gold lasers... If you've bred bronze cories, gold lasers shouldn't be harder than that, because they're still part of the Aenus genus. So, yeah, gold lasers shouldn't be too bad. Which tetras are you going to try? You could try some bloodfin tetras or Kerai tetras. I bred Kerai tetras accidentally, so there's some good ones to start off with. Laura, how's it going, Laura? Breeding my Cytomegil red neons and my longfin peppercorns, picked up some Kerai tetras and getting them nice and healthy. Sounds like you're loving life, living the dream. I need to get some more Cytomegils in my life, but I just don't have the time. Sometimes I just think about packing up like 20 aquariums, and then other times I think about setting up like 20 aquariums. And I just can't ever get the right balance. I need help with removing snails. They've hitchhiked on some plants I bought recently. What's the best way in your experience to rid them? Cut up a piece of zucchini and put it on a fork, and then potter around, do whatever you want, watch a movie, and then come back and the piece of zucchini will be full of snails, and you just take that out and chuck it in the bin. And then rinse and repeat until you've got a manageable amount. Ugly man, how's it going, mate?
Hello there.
Good to see ya. Good to see ya. What's happening? I saw you entered that what did you tag me in the other day? Competition or something, I think. Setting up a Bioscape Nano Moss Terrarium at the moment, mostly filled with boos. I like it, red plants. That's it. Yeah, I should really get this one going again. But as I mentioned earlier, I've got a bit of work to go setting up this desk a bit better. As well as that, this is actually a standing desk, but just off screen here is all the pipes for these canister filters, and then there's also the 3-foot rack here. So I've realized I've boxed myself in so that I can't even raise up the standing desk, which was the whole point of getting a standing desk, because if I do, it knocks all the canister filter pipes off or clashes with the stand of the 3-foot thing. So I need to really just move that 3-foot job like 5 centimeters that way, but as we know, that's no easy task. Battery chicken. you're going as well as an orangutan. I found a baby snail in my turtle tank this morning. Didn't mind since it might eat leftover food and algae, but I walked past the tank about 20 minutes ago and the turtle had finished eating it. Yep, turtles will do that. At last, I need a home before I can get my little monsters. Nice. Hi Blake, do I breed emerald raspberries? Yeah, I do. I've got a little colony. It started off with 8 to 10, and then they bred. Now I combined those into a colony of about 40, and same kind of thing happened. They're right there. They're in that tank there with that light above it. But I put that in, and then they were sort of disrupted. They weren't really making more eggs, which I can see because there'll be a breeder box in there, so I can see every day if there's eggs or not. And they didn't, so I just decided I'll pull all of that out, let them just hang out for a little bit, and then I'll get it set up again later. So sometimes I just find that you need a bit of a circuit breaker. So yeah, that's what I did there. But I definitely will be trying to breed these guys over here, which is the Guppies raspberry. Craig, new fish. I got, I don't know if you were listening before, but I got some blue eye cichlids. I got some, what are those other guys? Oh, I got some blue jewels as well. That was the other one I couldn't remember. Because I like jewel cichlids, but red jewels are just impossible to get rid of. So I thought blue jewels are pretty cool. I also really like Turkana jewels, those orangey kind of ones, but never seen them. Purple jewels are also cool. But anyway, jewel cichlids, I got those. And yeah, Guppies raspberries, 5 banded barbs. And yes. What size is the tank in litres? That tank that I was talking about with the emerald raspberries, that is, I don't know what that is. I think 40 litres. It's the Bioscape tank, but it's the 45 centimeter one. Whatever that is. 45 centimeter. I think roughly by 35. 45 by 35. 45 by 35 by 28 or something like that. So 44 litres, something like that. They could be upgraded to a 2-foot pretty easily, but it obviously won't fit on the desk. Love jewels, but the old dark red ones, yeah, there's some really trash jewels getting around, isn't there? But when you do stumble across some of the real nice ones, it's like, oh, it's one of those things where I feel like, kind of like convict cichlids, right? A great convict cichlid is hampered by the fact that there's so many bad ones out there. And if you say like, oh yeah, I'm a convict cichlid guy, then people will be like, what? But maybe they just haven't seen really good convict cichlids. I feel like it's kind of the same thing with jewels. Like, if you're like, yeah, I really love jewels and I've got like 10 tanks of jewel cichlids, people have in their mind like this pale pink kind of fish, maybe, you know, 10% of the spangling that they really should. Weird heads on them and all that. But some really nice ones can make you appreciate them a lot more. Do you know of any Nigerian red cribs? I'm looking for a pair. I went through a phase a long time ago of random cribs. I ordered some and they didn't send me real Nigerian reds. They sent me what are the other ones? They sent me, it wasn't just a normal cribensis, but it was like one of the other types, purple cribensis or whatever. But it had a certain subocellatus or one of those. But I've never actually found Nigerian red cribs that were really Nigerian red cribs. I'm sure they exist, but I've never found them. And I did consciously look for them a while ago. So good luck with that search. If you find them and you breed them, I'll be a customer. Because I like them a lot. But I was a bit scarred by that, by paying Nigerian red crib money and getting subocellatus or something, whatever I got. And I couldn't even sell them because I was like, I'm pretty sure. Oh, Will knows stuff. He was the one that we talked about originally. And I think Will dropped some of those other random cribs off here as well. And I just had to sort of combine them all, and it was just not a good time. Will you be using your breeder box to breed Cupidites? Yes, 100% Mark. 2 reasons that there's not a breeder box on the Emerald Raspberries and the Cupidite Raspberries, and that's because I've got to print so many of them before. Now I've got so many orders I can't print myself to put on my own tanks, but that's a good problem to have. So yeah, I'm trying to get everyone else's orders fulfilled before I can do my own. Or green lasers are awesome. I've never seen them in Australia. Music stopped. Must be time to nearly wrap it up then. Oh, it's just a quiet song. Could change it to something else, but anyway, I'll get too distracted now. Change it to... Now I'm very distracted, aren't I? Can you hear actually how noisy this room is when there's no music and there's no... That's what it's really like in here. Alright, there we go. Now that's too low. Need more robots? Yeah, I do need more robots. I also don't have a space to put more robots. Good thing is I do have a friend who has a 3D printer as well, and he's moving house, so he said he'll lend it to me if I go pick it up, which it's in Melbourne, so that's pretty good. I'll probably grab that this weekend, which will help. Last 3 days in the fish room has been great. Lots of spawns. Awesome. Glad to hear it. I'm hoping after a big water change today I'll have a similar thing this week, but it's been a slow 2 weeks for me. The fish room in Hallam. Okay, I like it. I'll have to check that out. Let me look up where that is. Because then if I go pick up this extra 3D printer, I might go to... Oh, okay. That's way out of the way. I don't know where Hallam is, in my defense. That's probably why I've never been there. It's far over on the east side, for those wondering. What are your thoughts on feeding egg yolk to fry? I don't do it personally because I feel like it makes the tank too messy. But I know a lot of people, and old school people as well, have a lot of success with it. But what I feed to fry is this stuff here. Not extreme pellets, but I just get all of my old food and just whiz it up in the NutriBullet, and I just feed that. And seems to do the job for me. Or I feed vinegar eels. Alrighty folks, hey G-Snap, how you going? Hopefully you're going well. I'll catch you later on in Rumble's stream if he does it. But other than that, I'll probably wrap it up here. Design an egg tumbler that is better. Could try, but it's really hard to print see-through things. That's the trouble. kind of has to be matte. I do have a request for someone to print an egg protector for like when corridors spawn on the glass. It'll have some suction cups and go over the top of those eggs so nothing can eat it. I'll really like that idea, so I'll probably be doing that sometime soon. And I'll probably design it so that it has, I don't know, some kind of way that you can incorporate an air stone or something like that and have air running up across the eggs as well. Because if you just put a cage over the top, especially with gaps small enough that fish couldn't get in there and eat it, then they'd probably fungus over from lack of water flow. So that's what I'm going to try and do. I use a filter plate. Okay, that's a good idea. With a suction cup. Nice. We have a NutriBullet too. Yeah, make sure you do it when nobody else is home, otherwise you get in trouble if you're anything like me. But yeah, that's going to do it. Thanks for hanging out with me. Really appreciate your time. Just as the numbers have jumped up in the last few minutes, but it must be knockoff time. So if it is, hopefully you enjoy your favorite beverage of choice. If you've got a long weekend, enjoy it. If you don't, make it feel like a long weekend. Give your fish some special treats, some live or frozen food this weekend, and look after yourself. So appreciate you all. Yep, Brendan, unfortunately, just in the nick of time. But that's going to do it for another live stream. So hopefully I'll catch you over the weekend. Thanks again for the support on the breeder contraption. It's yeah, very, very humbling and kind of scary how I need to fulfill all these orders now, but I'm working hard on it. Thanks for hanging out. That's going to do it for me. I'm out of here. I'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching.